It's been so long since I filmed. Hey guys, so it's been a while. If any of you follow my Instagram, you know that my laptop was stolen at the airport, so I haven't been able to edit videos or post videos, and I've been traveling so much I haven't really filmed, and I didn't really need to because I didn't have a laptop anyway. But I just got my new laptop the other day, and then I got the stomach bug, so I'm finally back and better and ready to film. So today's video is going to be a story time, and the story is the time that our pet snake tried to strangle me. So a few months ago, Elizabeth got a snake. I think I mentioned her in my guinea pig video. Her name is Slippy. And disclaimer, snakes are amazing pets. She is the sweetest snake. I love her. She's so charming. She's so personable. She loves to be handled. She loves to hang out with us. She's an awesome snake. I have nothing but good things to say about her. And this was like a completely like terrible circumstance, and I would never have anything mean to say about snakes. I think they're amazing pets and I recommend them. But anyway, let's just get into it. So when we first got Slippy and we tried to feed her, she wouldn't eat. And we ended up having to keep the mouse for like 2 weeks in our apartment, which is another story time that if you're interested in hearing, I would love to film because it's a pretty funny, pretty awful story. So we figured out that the reason she wasn't eating was because she was about to shed. And so apparently when she's about to shed, she doesn't want to eat. And so when it was Thanksgiving break, and Elizabeth and I, we kind of were, the days that we were out of town, I was out of town I think Monday through Friday, and she was out of town like Wednesday through Sunday. So there were only like 2 days overlapping where our animals would be home alone. So we ended up, I left the guinea pigs there and she kept them, and she made sure to leave them extra food, and I got them an extra water bottle and whatever. So I got back and I was gonna feed Slippy. It was about time for her to eat. I was gonna get the rat. We feed her adolescent rats now. We were gonna get her rats. I was gonna get her the rat, and then we were gonna feed her the night that Elizabeth got back. But then I noticed that her skin was starting to get really dull and her eyes were starting to get milky, which is usually a sign that they're about to shed. So I texted Elizabeth and was like, I don't know if we should feed Slippy yet, because it looks like she's about to shed, and so maybe we should wait and wait to see if she sheds and then try to feed her after that. So when Elizabeth got back, she was like, okay, yeah, you're right, like let's wait a few days, let's wait for her to shed, because she was like really about to shed. Well, Slippy was taking forever to shed. Like days had gone by and this snake had not shed yet. And we hadn't really been handling her because she doesn't really like to be handled when she's shedding, because I guess like her skin is uncomfortable, like, you know, it's about to fall off. And so we weren't feeding her and we weren't really handling her, which we felt really bad about because she was probably getting like pissed off because I don't know if she wanted to hang out with us. I don't know. I mean, we haven't had her that long, so we're learning as we go. So then, fast forward a few days, my friend Sika was visiting from out of town. She's a friend from high school, and she goes to college way down in New Orleans. So it's not often that I see her. And so when she came to visit, I really wanted her to meet Slippy. But the night before she came, Elizabeth had tried to get her out of her cage just to see if she would want to hang out. And she was like hissing at Elizabeth a lot. So she ended up not really having her out very long and put her back. And so when Sika came, of course, she wanted to meet our snake because it's a snake. And so I was like, okay, like I'll kind of, you know, like reach in, like pet her a little bit, see how she's feeling, and we'll just see. So I did that, and she wasn't hissing. She seemed to be okay. So I grabbed her out of her cage. And what I do every time I get her out of her cage is I put her around my shoulders. So I put Slippy around my shoulders, and immediately she like coils around my neck and starts to tighten. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Slippy is going to kill me today. How am I gonna get this snake off of me? And I'm a little less, I'm a little less comfortable, I guess, than Elizabeth, where I feel like Elizabeth could have just grabbed her and like pulled her off. Because of, you know, she's Elizabeth's snake. She's not really my snake. So I was trying, I had my hands in between her and my neck, and I was like trying to kind of like get her off, but of course she would just like tighten more if I like put pressure on her. And so I'm like, Sika's freaking out. Sika's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to cut this snake off of Holly. I'm gonna have to kill Holly's snake today. Like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, no, like, there's gotta be something we can do. I'm like, I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this snake off, but there has to be a way for me to get her off. And so I was trying to pull her off. She wasn't coming off. I'm sure if I had like grabbed her hard enough, then I would, but I didn't really know what to do. So my only thought was, okay, Slippy really likes dark holes. So what I did was I sat down on the couch with Slippy around my neck with my hands in between her. Because literally, like, if I would have moved my hands, she would have constricted. And like, I mean, she's a snake. She's not vicious. She's pretty harmless. But she's a snake, you know? Like, yes, she has the capability to probably kill me if I were just like a limp, like I just like laid down and she like coiled around me and I didn't do anything. Like, yeah, she probably could kill me. She's a snake, but she's a great snake. This was a circumstance where she was about to shed, so she was probably uncomfortable. She hadn't eaten, so she was probably hungry. She was probably pissed off, and we hadn't handled her in forever. So no, I don't really blame her. She's a great pet, but you know, she's still a snake. So I sat down on the couch and there was like a pillow, and I propped the pillow up on the couch so that there was like a dark spot. And this is what we do with Slippy. We always think that like, oh no, she's gonna like bite us. She's gonna do, like, we always expect, because of like the reputation of snakes, I'm always like afraid she'll do something, and then she turns out to be like the lamest and most like harmless thing. She just saw the black hole and was like, ooh, let's go. And just immediately slithered off of my neck. So it wasn't actually that dramatic in the end. She turned out to be as calm and as cool as she always is. And so, yeah, she kind of tried to strangle me, but that just proves that she wasn't really like a vicious animal trying to kill me. She was probably just pissed off, and maybe, I don't know, maybe she wanted to eat me, but she would have really struggled with that because she eats small rats. She couldn't even eat the guinea pigs if she tried. Honestly, she would kill them and like throw them back up. But yeah, so that was pretty scary. I was probably less worried than Sika just because I knew her and I'd been around her, and I was like, there's gotta be, like, I don't know how, but there's gotta be some way to get her off. And in the moment I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know what's gonna get her off of me. This is not a good situation. And poor Sika is probably scarred for life. So that is the time that my snake tried to strangle me. And if you like this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And I'm happy to be back after my long hiatus. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.